Satsang-99. The Fearless State. 30th October, 1935. Evening Satsang. God says, devotion after liberation is my power of taking divine incarnation. Devotion after liberation is the power of Brahman. The power of Brahman and devotion are not two things. When there is realization of oneself as Brahman, the state of being an individual or jiva vanishes. Param Atman is the only existence. To remain in the state of Param Atman is this devotion after liberation. The jiva is full of fear. It is afraid. However, God, Shiva, does not fear anything. So be fearless. The tiger and the mouse do not think alike. The mouse is afraid because when he is confronted by anybody, it means death to him. But the tiger is always on the hunt for any animal. Whatever confronts the tiger is potentially the tiger's meal. Only the one who is not afraid of any being is the man of knowledge, the jnani. He does not have fear of anything. Fear is only a psychological thing. When a man is asleep, he does not feel fear even if a snake were to go across his body. However, if he were to see a snake from afar while he is awake, he feels fear. Fear is the mind. When you are all things, what are you afraid of? The greatest fear is about sin and merit, because that fear is about God. But when you yourself are God, what is the cause for fear? As soon as you were born, fear came into existence. You were ignorant when you were in the womb, and then when you saw the world, you were afraid, and that fear has remained. The child is given some milk to pacify it, but the fear persists. It does not disappear. It is only dispelled by the teaching given by the Sadguru. Knowledge is given to make you understand, to give you the correct illumination. Thus, knowledge makes you fearless. Prahlad prayed to God to make him free of fear. Self-knowledge is fearlessness. A man may be very rich, but if he is 1 hour late to get up in the morning, he is afraid, with a feeling that today I am late, there will be some monetary loss. Everyone is afraid in this manner. When going to sleep, he tells his wife to awaken him early. Why is he afraid? He is afraid because he fears that his daily work will not be done. Some wake up of their own accord. They wind their inner clock and are awakened by their own awareness. This fear is all-pervading. You are afraid while dining, and you are afraid while working. And because of fear, there is a lot of confusion. Fear itself is the cause of the confusion. So be fearless. Sleep happily, eat happily, do everything happily and peacefully. Do not be worried about what will happen in the future. Do not be anxious in vain. Be quiet and peaceful. It is not easy to be adaptable and peaceful, but try to be at peace with yourself. The mind gets confused and disturbed. But what is the trouble? When you ask it why it is afraid, the mind becomes silent. When you ask it, what are you doing? The mind remains quiet. Nobody can answer or explain what all the agitation or worry is about. Sometimes when a visitor is asked what the purpose of his coming here is, he replies, "Nothing in particular. I have just casually dropped in." This is the habit of replying, but this is not a true reply. After some time, he opens his mind, tells his need, and expresses his anxiety. The tiger also roars, which indicates that he is not afraid of anybody. He is always fearless. To be unafraid is liberation, and to enjoy that state is devotion. Fearlessness means not being afraid of anybody or anything. That is the real state of Godhood in which you always live. You always live in the state of Param Atman. This is called devotion after liberation. This means to live in our own glory. Those who are real incarnations of God know this devotion, and they are devoted to God after attaining freedom. How can those who call themselves liberated and yet are still afraid of some physical injury or consequences of ordinary worldly affairs be liberated in the true sense? One who is free must really be free. One who is free must never think that there is purity if he performs certain rituals and impurity if he does not perform such things. Once there is self-realization and you become liberated while living, the state of living in that glory of God is itself the devotion after liberation. That is the power of taking divine incarnation, which is called avatar. You must live as God. God has no fear. If you feel fear, then you are the jiva, and there is some misunderstanding remaining. Desires and emotions are the cause of the result of karmic tendencies from which you suffer. If one still behaves in the same manner as before, after the attainment of self-realization, what is the use of that knowledge? One who acts according to his understanding is the truly illumined one. He is God. Lord Krishna said, "I have become God of all beings because of their concept of creation existence and destruction. God creates hundreds of worlds and destroys them. But does he commit any sin or earn merit because of that? Who will punish him? There is no other. Then who is there that will make him afraid? He is beyond all concepts, formless, invisible, and at the same time, everything. Nothing is existing anywhere without him. You are here because of him. Without God, you would not exist. I am the entire universe. I enjoy all. I eat all. I destroy all. I am my own playfulness. If you lick your own tongue, it is not contaminated, yet we consider the spit of others dirty for us. The one who has all of the tongues that are licking is everywhere, alone, yet in all things, and is completely fearless, and therefore lives as an incarnation of God.